Certainly one area that we have to protect as adults is we've got to protect our shoulder joints, okay? We need great hips because, gosh, if you lose your hips, it's so difficult just to do functional things and move and pick stuff up. So you don't want to lose that. But let's talk about shoulders right now. As we age, we tend to get obviously poorer posture, so we end up rounding, which makes it really difficult for us to lift our arm above our head. Now, just simply doing daily activities, it gets very difficult when we lose range of motion, not to mention the pain. Okay, so now, first of all, if you have pain in your shoulder, you need to go get it checked out, have a professional clear that your shoulder is okay and that maybe you just have some tightness and that's causing the pain. But if you have damage there, you probably need to have some rehabilitation or possibly surgery to get that taken care of. But if we can avoid that stuff, that's the best thing. So keep it healthy. Now, here's some exercises that I like to do. I've had shoulder stuff over the years, but a lot of it had to do with the way my spine is, okay? The way my shoulder blade articulates on my ribs and all. So I always have to work on stuff, right? One of the things that I like to do is I'll use like what's called a landmine, okay? Or you don't have to have the actual landmine connection. You can just simply use the bar against a corner of the wall or even on the ground. And I like to do this for mobility, and it starts to create a form of stability for me. So basically what I'll do is I'll just press it out. Now you notice I'm at a really low, I'm almost parallel with the ground. Right there I'm parallel. There's about 45 degrees. All I do is I walk it up and I walk it down, then I hinge. And what I do is, because I've got weight and because I'm gripping, I'm gaining some stability in the shoulder. So I press and I just walk it up. Nice, long, tall reach. And then I come back and then I hinge and I get another form of stability this way. And then I come back up. I walk and I'll get a few reps of this. Okay? Now, one of the things that I'll do when I do this is I'll come back down and then I'll get a couple presses into that above my head position. Okay, so I work on pressing it up, back down, get a couple more walks, nice stretch. Then I feel pretty good. Now, once I go and I kind of retest, now I've got nice, comfortable range of motion for me. Now, I don't have gymnastic shoulders, right? But I have pretty good shoulders for me, right? So now if I go and I do my bar press, okay, so if I press above my head, okay, that's not bad for me. I can press pretty well, pretty comfortable. I don't have to like arch to get it up there and, step back like this. I can pretty much press and get a nice, comfortable lift. So now, let's say you want to be able to press, okay? But the bar bothers you. Go to dumbbells. So you can literally grab a dumbbell, okay? And if I want to press above my head, because I'm not going with both shoulders, it frees up my thoracic spine and my scapulars don't come together at the same time. Only one of them moves apart and then back down and together, all right? But it gives me a little bit of freedom. There's a slight bit of rotation as I do this in my spine, in my thorax, and that helps me be able to get a pretty decent press above my head. As where if I'm stiff and I don't have that great range and I go to double, you're going to probably see me press and then press it out like this because I can't get there. But then I go to one and I'm able to get there. And I don't want you to look at this as, well, that's just compensating. Well, sure it is. But it's also helping you be able to press as long as there's no pain and it's not creating dysfunction, because we often do kettlebell presses, single arm. We do get-ups and things of that nature, which is creating side flexion with rotation, and that's completely acceptable. So I'm a big fan of going to single arm. That frees me up, and then I switch and I do the other side. So you don't have to do pressing with both arms. The main thing is get your range of motion, work on good posture, and the compensations I do like to have my athletes and my clients avoid is when If I want my arm to be straight up, if I get my arm straight up by doing this, or as I go and I project way, way forward, like my head comes way out, and those things I try to really avoid. Now, having said that, you will see athletes that do a press, oftentimes the head will get pushed forward as a form of balance, okay? So sometimes when I press this bar above my head, okay, as I clear my face, because my head is back, so I'm back on my heels just a little bit, just so I don't hit my face, then when I press, my head comes back forward. So I'm not trying to like jut my head way out, I'm just bringing it back so that I can be back in good balance again, okay? So work your shoulders, get that pressing back so you feel comfortable. If you have trouble with them, go get them checked out. Guys, hey, have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.